Good evening, everyone. I'm Sharice Gibson.
And I'm Karen Swenson. Today, Louisiana congressmen are reflecting on the violence at the Capitol. Erica Ferrando has their response to the riots and the results as Congress certified Joe Biden's win.
Louisiana's congressmen were not all in agreement to confirm or reject the election results, but they were in agreement on condemning the violence they witnessed firsthand on Capitol Hill.
Absolutely, entirely inappropriate and inexcusable, and those people need to be held accountable for their actions.
This is wrong. It is absolutely wrong. It is un-American.
Senator Bill Cassidy took these pictures of the damage and told Fox News Channel on Thursday that Congress reconvened despite the attack.
Our democracy works, and no matter what these insurrectionists would attempt to do, they failed. Our country's institutions were stronger than they.
Senator John Kennedy sent a statement Thursday calling the events despicable and shameful. Congressman Steve Scalise spoke with us Wednesday night.
I think all of us need to condemn this in the strongest terms.
Congressman Garret Graves represents Louisiana's 6th district.
It was really disturbing to see folks get as riled up as they did. And look, I want to be clear. That includes the inappropriate actions and words of the president yesterday. Those were similarly inexcusable. They were not presidential. They didn't demonstrate leadership.
5 of Louisiana's congressmen voted to overturn election results in at least one state. Graves voted to overturn Pennsylvania's results, but he says now it's time to move forward peacefully.
This is the outcome under our system. Is the system perfect? No. Do we need to work to perfect it and eliminate voter fraud? Absolutely. But this is the decision that our process yielded, and we've got to respect it and move forward.
Senator Kennedy objected to the election's certification. He said Thursday, our goal to ensure full confidence and transparency in our elections is a noble one, and I'll keep pursuing it. And finally, Thursday morning, President Trump committed to an orderly transition on Inauguration Day. Erica Ferrando, Eyewitness News.